Hello YouTube, and welcome aboard my first Tier 6 jet of the French air tree, the Dassault Super Mystere B.2. This plane is, I think, quite aptly named. It takes all of the characteristics of the Mystere and cranks them up to 11, both the good and the bad. Oh, and my favorite part, it gets air-to-air missiles. On paper, the Super Mystere seems fantastic. 11,050 kilometers per hour on the deck, an afterburning engine, and don't forget the wonderful pair of DEFA cannons. Unfortunately, this is actually quite a difficult plane to fly in practice, at least for me. In its defense, it's not entirely the fault of the plane itself. At 9.0, the Super Mystere is smack dab in the middle of the worst of War Thunder's BR compression issues. In a down tier, its speed makes it practically untouchable, sure, but in an up tier, which you will see quite often, it faces the likes of A7Ds, Harriers, and even supersonics like the Su-7. Honestly, it's no coincidence that my only ace so far was in a full down tier game. Nonetheless, any mid-tier jet with missiles can be a recipe for a good time. At the expense of hapless jet bombers, of course. One of these surprising downsides of the Super Mystere is just how poorly it keeps energy in maneuvers. If you try to zoom climb, you'll find you do it worse than even a Sabre, despite having an afterburner. If you turn below 800 km per hour, you bleed speed so fast it feels like you're flying a delta wing, but if you fly much faster than that, you lock up so hard that you can kiss goodbye any chance of getting a firing solution. This combination puts the plane in a really awkward spot. If you commit to a turn fight at low altitude, you're easy prey for a third party once you slow down, but if you try to keep your speed and boom and zoom, you'll have one hell of a hard time getting your guns on target. Of course, the DEFA cannons do allow you to risk head-ons, but as I'm sure you're aware, those are often bad for both parties involved. Take a good look at the damage that I just took from that exchange with the H5. For some reason, the Super Mystere loves getting both of its wings critted at the same time. I've actually never experienced a situation where only one wing was critically damaged in this plane, and, well, it's both a blessing and a curse. See, because of the symmetric damage, this isn't fatal. I'm not going to flat spin out of the sky, but it certainly isn't any fun either. With both wings peppered full of holes, the plane can pretty much only produce enough lift to stay in the air if you fly in a straight line. Any attempt to turn and, well, you can kiss the ground. Luckily for me, the airfield is close by and my engine was healthy enough to get me there, although this landing is going to be a little rough. Let's just say I didn't notice one of the flaps was missing.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
Just as an aside, I really hope they fix the ground collision physics for planes soon, because all this jiggling looks really silly. As much as I have trouble with the plane's flight performance, I have to admit, the Super Mystere is a gorgeous plane. As you can probably see from the altimeter right about now, though, this plane's acceleration and climb rate are certainly less than what I expected out of such a sleek and afterburning jet. If not for the cannons, I'd have a very hard time enjoying the Super Mystere at 9.0. As it stands, it can hold its own, but there's a reason you don't see these things being spammed out like Harriers or MiG-17s, for instance.
Victory will be ours.
At this point, there's only 3 guys left on the enemy team, 2 MiG-15s and an LA-15. Currently, one of the MiGs is rearming at their airfield, while the other 2 bandits are bullying this Sab 105 high over the middle island. This will be a good opportunity to show off one of the Super Mystere's best features, its ability to pull its nose around for extremely high-angle deflection shots. Combined with the meaty 30mm NATO rounds fired by the Difa cannons, this plane is just as deadly in a knife fight as the Mystere 2C was before it. The final MiG is chasing after our B-57 near his runway, and I can smell blood already. The Super Mystere may struggle in a multiple engagement scenario because of its poor energy retention, but in a 1v1, I'm still quite confident in this thing, especially with team support and against a plane a whole 0.7 battle ratings lower.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory
Ugh.
is close.
Ouch. Quick tip, watch out for the middle airfield on Malta. It's got a lot of AAA, and it hurts. The Super Mystere is not an easy plane to fly, but it's certainly not cannon fodder either. If you're careful with your speed and keep your head on a swivel, this beauty can serve you well. But there is another way to fly this plane. See, the Super Mystere is one of the only planes in the game able to carry the AA Nord manually guided air-to-air missiles. This is a keyboard-guided missile that has a proximity fuse, so it explodes automatically once it gets close enough to an enemy. This allows you to take a very particular and aggressive playstyle. Allow me to demonstrate.